Joe Biden did something yesterday that Donald Trump could never do, would never do, which is that Joe Biden admitted it is no longer time for me to be the leader. It is time for it to be someone else because I love my country more than I love my party or being president. Maybe not even more than he loves his party, because arguably what he's doing by stepping aside and allowing Kamala Harris is actually good for the Democratic Party as well. Biden speaking at the United Nations. Take a listen.
I made the preservation of democracy the central cause of my presidency. This summer, I faced a decision whether to seek a second term as president. It was a difficult decision. Being president has been the honor of my life. There's so much more I want to get done. As much as I love the job, I love my country more. I decided after 50 years of public service, it's time for a new generation of leadership to take my nation forward. My fellow leaders, let us never forget, some things are more important than staying in power. It's your people.
Notice the applause. We'll come back to that. Some things are more important than staying in power. Imagine delivering that message to Vladimir Putin or even to Donald Trump himself. Can you imagine Trump ever saying, hey, you know what? It's time for the next generation. I'm not the best person for the job anymore going forward over the next 4 years. Trump would never say something like that, because Trump's belief is that he knows more than everyone and he's better equipped than anyone to be president of the United States. Humility. Can you imagine? Joe Biden also addressing, and I'm glad he did, the decision to pull out of Afghanistan.
We need to end the era of war that began on 9/11. As vice president to President Obama, he asked me to work to wind down the military operations in Iraq. And we did, painful as it was. When I came to office as president, Afghanistan had replaced Vietnam as America's longest war. I was determined to end it, and I did. It was a hard decision, but the right decision. 4 American presidents had faced that decision, but I was determined not to leave it to the 5th. It was a decision accompanied by tragedy. 13 brave Americans lost their lives, along with hundreds of Afghans in a suicide bomb. I think those lost lives, I think them every day. I think of all the 2,461 U.S. military deaths over a long 20 years of that war. 20,744 American servicemen wounded in action. I think of their service, their sacrifice, and their heroism. I know other countries lost their own men and women fighting alongside us. We honor their sacrifices as well.
Acknowledging there was tragedy in getting out, but that it had to be done. And when you consider the fact that we were losing troops, coalition troops in Afghanistan over the last 20 years, doesn't diminish the tragedy of those lives that were lost getting out, but it does put a stop to it. Now, for contrast, I do want to remind you what happened when Donald Trump spoke to the United Nations in 2018. Not quiet respect and applause, which is what Joe Biden got yesterday from the international community, but audible laughter. Remember this moment, globally humiliating for Donald Trump?
Madam President, Mr. Secretary General, world leaders, ambassadors, and distinguished delegates. 1 year ago, I stood before you for the first time in this grand hall. I addressed the threats facing our world, and I presented a vision to achieve a brighter future for all of humanity. Today, I stand before the United Nations General Assembly to share the extraordinary progress we've made. In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true.
Audible laughter.
Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
Well, it's because you were a joke on the global stage, sir. You know, my instinct is that it's always difficult to know, as a presidency comes to an end, how it will be looked at in the future. When we look back, how will it be seen? That being said, we're getting a sense of the joke that the Trump presidency was, as we now get further from it and hopefully don't go back to it. And my guess is, and maybe it's wishful thinking because we know that he did so many things right and just seems to be a good guy. Doesn't mean he did everything perfectly. My sense is Joe Biden will be seen as an exemplary leader of the United States further down the line. You never know until some time's gone by, but it seems like that would be correct. And Biden showing the humility Trump is constitutionally unable to show. Let me know what you think. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. We'll be with you for whatever comes next after November. Are you having trouble sleeping or staying asleep? Sleep is one of the most important foundations of mental and physical health. And our sponsor, Beam's formulation called Dream, is a delicious nighttime hot cocoa drink with melatonin, clinically proven to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Melatonin can also help correct circadian rhythm disturbances, get your sleep schedule back on track, for example, in jet lag situations. Dream comes in great tasting flavors like mint chocolate chip, chocolate, peanut butter, sea salt caramel. I love the cinnamon cocoa version. No sugar added, sweetened with monk fruit, just 15 calories per serving. Dream hot cocoa it's just a nice way to wind down before bed. It's hot and flavorful. It's not overly sweet. It's a soothing way to relax about an hour before going to bed. Go try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder and get 40% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/Pakman and use the code Pakman. The link is in the description.